Imagine waking to the chilling realization that your entire understanding of human origins might be a lie. As a vast continent, home to beings who mastered secrets we've long forgotten, slip silently into the abyss, leaving only whispers in the waves. This wasn't myth. This was Lemuria. Or was it? What if the cradle of our species lies hidden beneath the Pacific, challenging everything we think we know about who we are and where we truly come from? Let's start where the water settled, in the vast expanse of the Pacific, where islands dot the horizon like forgotten whispers, though the story began elsewhere, in the Indian Ocean's depths. I've pored over old maps in the dim glow of my cabin lamp, the rain pattering on the glass like distant drumbeats. Lemuria was first proposed in 1864 by British zoologist Philip Sclater. The air in his study must have hummed with the chatter of caged lemurs. As a sunken land bridge in the Indian Ocean to explain the puzzling distribution of lemur fossils, those wide-eyed primates found in Madagascar and India, but absent from mainland Africa or the Middle East, their fur-soft forms preserved in ancient rock. This was a scientific hypothesis, grounded in biogeography, imagining a vast tract of land, perhaps lush with forests smelling of damp earth and exotic blooms, connecting continents before it vanished. But here's where the unease begins. Could such a lost world truly reshape our sense of where humanity began? By the 1870s, German biologist Ernst Haeckel, his ink-stained fingers tracing evolutionary trees in the flickering candlelight, expanded this Indian Ocean land bridge into a possible cradle for early humanity. The salty expanse where our ancestors might have first stood upright amid crashing surf. The possibility deepens further. If this land nurtured our earliest steps, why does its absence feel like a missing piece in our story? As the idea spread, it underwent a curious migration itself. Occultist Helena Blavatsky, in her 1888 work, The Secret Doctrine, reimagined Lemuria not in the Indian Ocean, but shifted it to the vast Pacific, populating it with an advanced third root race, giant, hermaphroditic beings who laid eggs and possessed nascent psychic abilities. Suddenly, the question sharpens. What if our origins involve more than evolution alone? Something stranger, more profound. This theosophical twist gained traction, but in the 1920s, James Churchward further transformed the myth, referring to Lemuria interchangeably as Mu, a utopian continent in the Pacific Ocean, home to 64 million people with advanced technology and a monotheistic sun-worshipping religion. And here the challenge to everything we know about ourselves grows even bolder. But how much of it holds up? The Pacific's depths hold no such secrets. Divers report only coral-crusted ridges, the faint echo of volcanic fire in the water's chill, with no trace of a massive sunken landmass. Plate tectonics, unveiled in the 20th century like a thunderclap, Alfred Wegener's 1912 theory gaining ground by the 1960s, showed continents drifting on molten currents, the grind of rock against rock explaining species distribution without needing lost bridges or continents. as Madagascar and India once clung together in Gondwana. No geological scars mark a sudden submergence. Seismic whispers reveal only shifting plates, the slow exhale of the Earth's breath reshaping the world over eons. With fragments like the 84-million-year-old Mauritius under the Indian Ocean, a tiny, ancient crust, gritty and unyielding, but far too old and small to be the fabled Lemuria or Mu. Polynesian voyagers, their canoes slicing through foam-flecked swells, mastered the seas with stars as their guides. The twinkle of constellations reflected in keen eyes. No need for a mythical homeland to explain their far-flung settlements, as evidenced by archaeological finds of Lapita pottery shards scattered across islands like breadcrumbs. Their oral histories speak of intentional journeys, the wind's salty kiss on skin as they navigated vast triangles of ocean, emphasizing self-reliant ingenuity over borrowed legends from a drowned utopia. Yet that lingering doubt remains. Could echoes of an older wisdom still ripple through their achievements? Indigenous perspectives from Hawaii to Aotearoa reject derivation from a superior lost race, honoring their own enduring legacy. The rhythmic slap of paddles against water as the true story of Pacific peopling. And so the waves keep whispering. If science explains it all so neatly, why does the possibility of a hidden cradle beneath the Pacific still unsettle our certainty about human origins? Now the part that keeps me awake. The tales of Mu, often intertwined with Lemuria's migrated myth, that shimmering Pacific paradise, where ancients wielded wonders beyond our grasp. These stories pull us right back to that unsettling question. What if our beginnings were far more extraordinary than we've been taught? Let's unpack these as testable hypotheses, layer by layer, and see if they hold water. First, the notion of an advanced Mu civilization, their anti-gravity ships humming like bees in a storm, lifting stone temples from the earth. Proponents like James Churchward in the 1920s claimed deciphered ancient tablets revealing solar-powered tech and flying vessels. But no such artifacts exist. Archaeological digs yield only human-scale tools, while plate tectonics shows the ocean floor too young and unbroken to hide a continent's ruins. The evidence pushes back hard. Yet doesn't it make you wonder if some unexplained cultural echoes point to forgotten knowledge in our past? Then Blavatsky's psychic giants, 7-foot-tall hermaphrodites of the third root race, laying eggs and channeling cosmic energies. This marked the relocation to the Pacific. Fossil records, however, trace human evolution through African hominids like Australopithecus, with no evidence of giants or egg-laying primates, and DNA linking Polynesians to Southeast Asian origins. Still, the whisper persists. Might fragments of advanced insight have somehow survived the waves? Another layer, the cataclysmic end via pole shift or misused energy crystals, survivors fleeing to seed global cultures. Geophysical data shows pole shifts gradual, no recent global floods, and indigenous accounts emphasize skilled navigation, not inherited tech. The facts ground the tale firmly, but doesn't the sheer boldness of it circle us back to questioning our own humble origins? And finally, extraterrestrial ties, hollow earth portals, reptilian guardians guiding Lemurian tech. Sonar mappings reveal only volcanic seamounts, no habitable voids. Cultural similarities, parallel evolution or trade. Playful notions that nevertheless keep us pondering the depths we might still be missing in the story of who we are. Hypothetically, what if that vanished continent did cradle secrets we've lost? Lemuria rising first as an Indian Ocean bridge, then morphing into Mu's vast Pacific expanse under an eternal sun. Its people, tall and luminous, with eyes like polished obsidian, gliding in anti-gravity crafts that whispered through palm-scented air, harvesting energies from the Earth's core with crystals pulsing like living hearts. Societies in harmony, where knowledge flowed like rivers unmarred by war, the laughter of children echoing over coral gardens, elders sharing visions under starlit skies veined with auroras, arts and sciences blooming in halls that smelled of jasmine and ozone. But hubris creeps in subtle waves, experiments with vortex energies, crystals tuned to tectonic frequencies, aiming to tame earthquakes but instead awakening the planet's fury. The ground trembling with misused power, fissures cracking open like wounds. Then the cataclysm unfolds, seas rising in relentless surges that crash with the roar of betrayed gods. Families clutching one another as crystal spires topple into foam, survivors scattering like seeds on the gale, their vessels carrying fragments of lore to Polynesian shores, Mayan jungles, and Egyptian sands. Echoes persist in ancient songs, the faint memory of flight in star-guided canoes. But the human cost lingers, the tenderness of lost embraces, mothers shielding children from the swallowing waves, a legacy reborn in those who navigated the aftermath. Yet the earth doesn't bargain. It reshapes without mercy, plates grinding over eons, drowning empires in slow, inexorable tides. And in the silence that follows, that original unease returns fuller than ever. If an entire world of advanced forebears could vanish so completely, leaving only whispers in the waves, how certain can we truly be about the story we've told ourselves, of humble origins, with nothing stranger waiting beneath the surface? Empires drown, but their echoes endure in us. Next week, Dvarka, Krishna's harbor beneath the waves. Comment the lost world that keeps you awake, and tell me, do you believe our origins could be hiding something stranger? Subscribe, their echoes are waiting.